Hi guys, it's Phoebe from Who's Phoebe and welcome back to another Doctor Who video. This is the very first day of 24 days of Doctor Who. I will be reviewing 24 classic Doctor Who episodes, which means on the days of the 60th anniversary episodes that I will be reviewing, you'll get 2 views of Wild Blue Yonder and whatever classic episode, whatever classic story, and you'll also be getting my opinions on the Giggle and then whatever classic story as well. It's better that way because I still can do 24 classic episodes alongside with the rest of the 60th anniversary special. Just a quick thing, in the new year I am doing a podcast called The Doctor's Life. I'll be on with guests and friends, so that's exciting. So yeah, that's extremely exciting and I can't wait to get cracking on that. I don't know when those episodes will go up, maybe weekly or monthly, and it'll just be like a talk about maybe new news coming out and all of that kind of stuff. Also, in the new year, I am launching, I'm doing more videos like I've never done before, and there'll be a bunch of new Doctor Who content with Scooter Gutwar to take the reins over the Christmas period in the TARDIS and all of that. So I hope you guys will enjoy the videos. Anyway, this is my review on the Marca. So, you guys know how these reviews work. I do positives and negatives. Unfortunately, this story has way more negatives than it does positives. So I'll start with the negatives, just to get them out of the way. So this episode was good, okay? It was a great story, really liked the concept. Liked the Marca, they were brilliant. And this introduces us to the Marca for the very first time, which, as we know, wouldn't appear until Gridlock in 2007. But it wasn't paced right. I don't think this story was paced particularly right. It was 4 parts, so you expect good pacing, and it wasn't like that. Everyone was pretty much together, Ben got possessed, and it just didn't really work. I don't mean possessed, but what I mean is he had thoughts of what he needed to think rather than what he wanted to think, and to me that's just a bit of a weird concept. But Doctor Who is Doctor Who, so I just kind of went along with it. I don't like the animation, and I'm going to say that now as someone who likes Doctor Who. I didn't like the animation. I thought the animation was off and didn't really do anything. I would have much preferred, I know the Marca is no longer an existing episode, so that's why when they put the whole universe on BBC iPlayer, they decided to give us the animated version of the Marca because it was easier and people could still see it, you know. But they've colorized the animation, which I am very much against, apart from when it was Daleks in colour, which I will do a separate review in the new year for that, if you guys want my honest opinion of what I actually thought of the Daleks in colour. Coloured animations for classic Doctor Who episodes that are meant to be in black and white ruins it for me. So again, this kind of marks the score down to a fairly low. This kind of marks it out of 10 for me, fairly low. So yeah, that is something I wanted just to get off my chest because I feel like I need to mention it. I mean, I'm not a massive fan of the animations anyway, even if they are in black and white, but this was in colour and it just didn't sit right with me. Animations in colour for Doctor Who don't tend to sit right for me. So that's obviously, it went off on a bit of a tangent in the 3rd episode. There was a bunch of information that I couldn't quite get and I just didn't really understand part 3. I don't know what it was about or anything like that. So part 3 went off on a little bit of a tangent, and it was just so obvious the solution of how you defeat the Marca at the end. Turn off the gas, you know, turn off the gas so they, you know. So for me, totally, this story wasn't exactly kind of what I was hoping for. It was everything but that. I got handed this story to me and I thought, yeah, this is going to be absolutely 100% great. It's going to be well paced, and for me it wasn't any of those. I'm really sorry to do such a negative review, but this is just generally my opinion, and I figured if you guys like the Marca, you guys can just kind of forget everything I said about this. so don't watch if you're a fan of this story. I'm personally not. For me, the first part was definitely my favourite because it was well paced. You had the TARDIS team in the TARDIS at the beginning, and then they see the Marca on the time scanner, and Jamie grabs a stick and gets ready to basically kick his ass, in the words of Donna Noble. But yeah, so the first episode was probably the more stronger of the 3 parts that it was in. I think it was just generally because it had started off outside and it was all kind of outside environment and it was really good, and then kind of when it moved inside there wasn't a lot of kind of going outside on the beach to deal with this. It was more kind of everything inside the base. And the whole kind of the commander putting thoughts into the Doctor's companions' minds was a bit odd, telling them what they want, telling them what they needed to think. And I think that is like some form of mind control, because like because you're being told what to think when that shouldn't really work. You should think what you need to think. And to me, that was such a weird concept of this particular story. I didn't really enjoy that part, especially when it affected Ben more than it affected Polly and Jamie. He literally betrayed his friends. He kept dubbing them in at every single turn, and I don't agree with that. Personally, I don't agree with a companion of the Doctor to dub him in all the time, because he pretty much kept getting arrested in every single part. So yeah, and I think the commander was under the influence of the Marca. I'm not too sure. I'd have to go back and rewatch the last part, but I'm not going to do that. But yeah, so yeah, everything was pretty much not as good as I thought it was going to be. The first part was great, incredibly well paced, and you got introduced to the characters. Unfortunately, that's where things took a bit of a turn. None of the side characters were memorable. You had those dancing ladies in the beginning, and I just kind of went along with it and thought, yeah, okay, up until Jamie went to go and do the Scottish dance in the 4th part, and it just kind of ruined it for me. I was enjoying it up until that point, and I was enjoying like the 4th part up until the point where he dances. I mean, I know it's a traditional Scottish dance, what he was doing, but it just felt a bit like out of tune for the story, because I know the guy originally, when he came into this room, he thought he was a dancer, obviously, but it just went a bit off pace for me. But yeah, I think out of 10 I'd give this story a 5 out of 10. I mean, the positives are it was good, it was great, and I enjoyed it, but there was a lot more negatives in this episode than there were positives. Really sorry. If you enjoyed the Marca Terror, please let me know by my Instagram and all of that. Please kind of comment if you liked it. Personally for me, I didn't as much like it, but yeah, so yeah, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up if you did, and make sure you click the subscribe button down below to make sure you subscribe to the Who's TV family. And in the words of the 14th Doctor, Allons-y.